Testing. Am I streaming or no? Testing, testing, testing. You New Year hype. God damn, bro. Ugh. Let me try to put on some of our Kingdom Hearts stuff. I don't know. I can't tell if this is like working or not. I don't see anything in my analytics. Like the YouTube streaming analytics has completely changed for reasons I don't know. So I don't know if I should restart or whatever, but all I see is the chat. So let me pull up the chat real quick in the chat app or whatever. Hopefully I'm still logged in here. That would suck if I wasn't. Can one of y'all type something if y'all are in here? I can't see anything in this. I can't see any analytics in the stream. Oh, it's showing up in a different spot than it usually does. The fuck? What the fudge? All right, I don't even know, dude. Let me see if I can. Am I even coming through? Is my mic even being picked up? No, it's not. Hello, 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 hello. This shit is ass. Hello, hello, testing, 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 testing. I need to send my mic. I need to send my mic to get fixed. This is ridiculous. Where was I though? What up, Moon? What up, Rams? What up, Dens? Acioid. Where was I? I just like I just didn't feel like streaming. I just didn't feel like streaming. I didn't know what to do on stream. I didn't really feel like getting in and showing the projects I'm working on. I haven't been working on personal projects. So like, and I've noticed that if I'm not coding, nobody's watching the streams. So I just stayed off the streams, bro. The holidays, I mean, they were pretty good. I had a really good little like Christmas weekend with my daughter. So we had a really good time. We had a really fun time. We saw the new SpongeBob movie, which was absolutely ridiculous. Oh my god. I love that they're still making new SpongeBob movies, bro. But yeah, we went to see the new SpongeBob movie. I got her for Christmas this Exploding Kittens board game. So now that's like her favorite game. She loves that game. So we go to this like cafe and play Exploding Kittens now. And then what else? What else did we do? We just kind of like hung out outside of that. But yeah, so it was a pretty good Christmas. I don't have any there was no snow, I think there was like no snow over the weekend, so we didn't like go outside or anything. It was really wet. It was just raining. It was like rainy all weekend. So yeah, I mean Christmas was cool. Other than that, I had COVID and I still am having symptoms from that 2 weeks later. So that was pretty crazy. First time I got COVID. Never was vaccinated. Never was vaccinated and never got COVID. And I got COVID like when nobody's even talking about COVID anymore. Years after the fact. Pretty crazy. So that sucks. And I still can't like really smell much, which is weird. And like the first 2 or 3 days I was having symptoms, which were the worst, you know, like I had a fever during those days and stuff. I was smelling paint, bro. It was very weird. I was smelling paint or like gun cleaner. It was like very, very weird. I don't know what it was. I almost thought maybe it was the neighbors, but I was like, whatever. Maybe it's just COVID. Um, but yeah, you know. And then other than that, I just been working on these projects. Just been working on the projects. How was your Christmas, Malachi? Because I don't even know if you celebrate. Do you guys celebrate that in the UK? I have no idea, bro. I honestly don't. Um, yeah, I had a week spending time with fam, getting back into the swing of things this week. Awesome, dude. Do you guys like do gifts? Do you guys do Secret Santa? Are you guys big on Santa? Or like what's all that about? Let me play these Kingdom Hearts stuff. Dude, do you know any I'm just like, dude, I keep seeing this guy pop up. His name's Clavicular. Do you guys know anything about that? And now we have this what is it? Mogging is a thing now. And looks maxing. Oh my god, bro. This shit is crazy. I'm definitely not looks maxing today. I haven't even showered yet. And I've been getting terrible sleep. I'm gonna open up this code here though. Yeah, I just don't know. I've been like so uninterested in like developing live. I don't know, dude. Because they're not personal projects, and you know, like, what am I gonna show? Like, am I gonna show my process? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just don't like it. Personal projects, I don't really care about, but like when it's projects for other people, I get like protective over my process. Kingdom Hearts, no copyright. Because people talk too much. Like if they're giving me criticism on my stuff, then I don't care. But some devs, you know, will give you criticism in chat, and it's just like not needed. Let me see real quick. Yeah, we do gifts, but nothing crazy. So now the analytics I think are coming through. I'm like kind of confused by YouTube. I don't know. Maybe it just was like loading funny today. I don't know. Yeah, we do gifts, but nothing too crazy. Mostly just spend time playing board games and going out to this like small festival type thing. That's pretty cool. Does it get cold where you're at? It's pretty cold where I'm at. I'm actually gonna turn the heater down. These electric heaters are like super powerful sometimes. Very cold, but no snow. What's like very cold for you guys? Yo, what up, Eclipse? What up, bro? Clip Kingdom and Eclipse, all the OGs, bro, the OGs, and the first from the day one streams. Let me guess, Canada. Canada, what? I'm by Canada. I live in Wisconsin. What up, Eclipse? Not much, bro. I'm thinking I'm gonna probably code and I'll share my screen and I'm gonna work on like boss fight stuff. So like attacks and stuff. And I'm gonna kind of figure out how I want to do it. So really I'm gonna do some research and stuff on boss fights and how I want to handle those attacks. Do I want to do it kind of like an easy way where we just use part hitboxes, you know? Or do we want to do ray casting? So I'm gonna be looking into that and seeing how I want to do that. But these are like Dark Souls type boss fights. So if anybody has any suggestions in chat, let me know. Clip Kingdom, you're crazy, bro. We'll be able to Vide code an entire Roblox game by 2030. Bro, you could probably already do that now. Honestly, I mean, AI is kind of weird, bro. Like if you give it a whole entire list of instructions for it to follow, And there's settings. If you go into the settings of like ChatGPT or Claude or whatever it's called, if you go into the settings, it you can tell it like how you want it to respond to you and like rules for it to follow and stuff. You know, like one rule you can set is always verify your responses with me. You know what I mean? And or like look for like the most bulletproof answer. You know, like tell it to do research because sometimes they're just knee jerk responses. So if you give it though like guidelines to follow every single response, then it's like 10 times or more productive than it just is by default. So like you could probably vibe honestly you could probably vibe code a Roblox game right now, but it's you would need to understand like not a normal person could do that. Like you would again, you'd need to understand how to give it those guidelines. You would need to understand the potential of it giving you still false information. You know what I mean? Like it's you still got to like kind of know how the AI works and know a bit about what you're doing. Am I fucking retarded? Okay. I just saw something on my headphones and I didn't know if that was like normal or not. I'm tripping. All right. UK, so very cold is probably nothing compared to Canadians. It stays around 40 Fahrenheit all day. Oh, that's fucking warm, dude. That's like warm weather. I'm out in a long sleeve t-shirt in 40. Nah, AI hallucinates too much. Yeah, it does. It'd be coming up with some like tomfoolery. So you just gotta be careful. You wouldn't really be able to integrate a ton of libraries or frameworks either. Yeah, I feel like AI wouldn't really be able to comprehend an entire framework. That's that's I would agree with you, but at the same time, if you feed it all the information, like if you give it actual resources to go through and it's gonna make sure that it follows a certain structure, I think that it might be able to do that. But again, you have to like, you know, you have to like give it that structure and those guidelines. Like default, no, it's not going to be able to do that at all. So it's like very weird. But I was speaking to a software developer, and he's been doing it for years, and he has his own company now. And he said he uses what is that thing that I don't know if it's Claude, it's Cursor. He says he uses Cursor for his business, and it's increased productivity by 20-fold. So that's pretty crazy, right? Like that's pretty crazy. I'm gonna switch to my headphones real quick. Like that's pretty crazy. But he was explaining kind of like how he does it, right? And he doesn't just use it. He gives it guidelines, and then he also like he'll give it guidelines, but he'll also like feed it his code, his projects, so that it understands how it should be, kind of code, right? I don't fucking know. What's ATP mean? Just learn to code? Yeah, yeah, facts, bro. At that point, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, exactly, exactly. And that was kind of like that was part of what I was saying. Like you still kind of need to know how to like what you're doing. Like you can technically vibe code an entire game, but you would need to know how to do it. It's not just anybody can do it. But I also wouldn't like right now, present day, I wouldn't just vibe code an entire game. The only time I vibe code is math because I am super dog at math, and I find AI to be very good at math most of the time. Um, Especially if I give it guidelines and it really knows exactly what I want to do. Because if it doesn't know exactly what you want to do, then that's when it's just gonna make assumptions. AI is so quick to make assumptions, and it can be very annoying. But would the game be any good though? Yeah, 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 bro. It's just it's yeah, but it's like I said, you would need to know what you're doing. Like, and to vibe code an entire game that would work and be a good game, you would still need to know what you're doing. And like Malachi was saying, learn to code at that point, which I totally agree with. Right now, you should just learn to code. But I don't know how many years it will take for like the average Joe who doesn't know anything about code to come in and vibe code an entire game that works. I don't know how many years until we get there. I think it's gonna be relatively soon because the way it's moving, dude, is crazy. Shit is going so fast. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're already at like what do they call it? Super intelligence. And if we're not there yet, we're like very close to it. Which that's like apparently super intelligence. I don't know much about it. You know, I've just seen kind of some information out there about this stuff, but apparently like super intelligence is going to be able to um learn and evolve like thousands of times faster than any human being, like if not even more than that, like crazy shit. Gotta spoon feed AI once we hit AGI we cooked. What's AGI? What is AGI? Crazy that AI 3 years ago couldn't do shit. Yeah. It'll just cost the Earth's resource for the average Joe to be able to build. What the fuck? What the hell are you talking about, dude? Thinking of AGI. What is AGI? What is AGI? What's AGI? What are we talking about? Artificial general intelligence? What's the general mean? Like, what's the general part for? I'm like, I need to look at something, guys, real quick. All right. Where'd my chat go? There it is. Okay. So it is working still. Crackhead Dev, back at it again. That's crazy, Grubster. I've been missing. If you had to choose one, which game engine would you put on number one personally besides Roblox Studio? That's a good question. You guys want to see the ass code I've been doing? What are we doing today? Boss fights? I need to start from scratch. I've like kind of I did a little bit of research, but I need to just start from scratch. Like human level AI. Okay. Are you saying Eclipse that's where we're at now? Let me look at this. If you had to choose one, which game engine would you put on number one? Which game engine would you put on number one personally besides Relax Studio? Bro, I've spent like maybe 10 minutes total in Unity, and I've never spent any time in Unreal Engine or really any other game engine. So I have no idea, brother. No idea. Yeah, I hear a lot of good things about Unreal. I hear a lot of complaints about Unity, and I've never really heard anybody complain about Unreal Engine. So, if that means anything, AGI might never happen. Why not? I mean, if it's artificial general intelligence, Human like. Are you guys talking about like emotion, like AI with emotions, or what? What type of math do you think is minimal requirement to utilize scripting well? I would just use the word use instead of utilize. Utilize is kind of like a pointless word. It's literally just use, but more fancy. Just saying. Um, but what type of math do you think is normal? Minimal requirement for scripting well. Two plus two. If you can do 2 plus 2, then you're good to go. Honestly. I suck at math and I have no issues with it. If like before AI, and that's really because of AI right now, I fucking like use the shit out of AI to code math. That's what I'm mostly using AI for. Um, but before that, even then, I would just like look up. Dude, it was actually kind of a pain. So before AI, when I was doing math, I was looking up equations, and I would get to kind of know them and understand them at a super basic level, but I still really had no idea what I was doing when it comes to math. But I would be able to like look up and do research on equations, kind of learn it barely, and then implement it, you know? So, I mean, you really don't need to know math for coding. You really don't. Um, yeah, it just depends on what you want to do. You know, if you want to make crazy cool stuff that's involved with math and you want to do that on your own, then by all means learn math. But then you're going to be wanting to go into like advanced math. So yeah. Can you guys hear this music? You guys can't hear this music. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. Did you use Desmos before? What is that? What's Desmos? Yeah, good answer, Malachi. How do we grow? I just can't take it, bro. I can't take chat sometimes, bro. This is another reason why I don't stream. I just be like, I don't know how to respond to chat, bro. It makes me flustered. Like, I don't know, dude. I get awkward I get awkward in the comfort of my own home. Do not gatekeep it. We need to know. That's crazy. Well, you gotta let it grow out. You gotta let it grow. So for me, my mustache, bro, I have to let it grow out, let it keep growing, and then I trim it. Then I trim it to be right above the lip. Right above the lip, right? So it follows the lip line. I don't like my mustache over my lip at all. So I trim it, and then as it grows, it's still gonna grow from up here, right? So it'll appear thick. It'll appear thicker when you let it grow, but all I do is I trim it on the lip line, and then sometimes I'll have these weird off bushes right here, and so I'll trim those up. Yo, thanks for the follow, my dude. Thanks for the follow. Malachi, you're 5'4"? Sheesh, Malachi's 5'4" tall. He's a whole ass manlet. That's crazy. How old is Ankh? Oh, alright, whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. I'm like 6 foot. I'll just say 6 foot. I'm like right at 6 foot. I'm like a quarter of an inch to half an inch over 6 foot, but it's just like at that point just say you're 6 foot, right? What are we doing? What am I doing trying to explain that I'm a little bit over 6 foot? ACM, I freaking wish, bro. I haven't really been doing personal projects since the last one. I still have 3 personal projects that I've started. One is close to being finished. Don't know if I'm gonna ever finish it. One is in the very early stages still. Not much to really show. and then the middle one is in a non-playable state, but kind of close to being like ready for testing. I don't know. It's weird, but I don't know if I'm gonna do either of those any of those projects. I don't know, bro. Sumo ball might never finish. Well, you know what? Malachi helped me fix a bug on something I was having revolving what was it? A line orientation that was making the player teleport. It's the same bug that's in Sumo Ball where you're teleporting. So I could fix that bug real quick now that I know how to fix it. And then now Sumo Ball would then be in like a great state, because that was like the one bug outside of it needing better kind of, you know, better what? Better progression maybe. But yeah, I don't know, bro. But I don't know if Sumo Ball's it, man. I tried running ads and the data was terrible. The data was terrible for the game. It really was. I don't know if it's an ads game. I don't know. I just don't know if I'd want to do the marketing for it, honestly. Looker, get in studio, boy. What am I gonna make in studio, bro? What am I gonna make in studio, bro? I gotta make boss fights. All right, do you guys? I'm gonna put it in, and I'll share my screen soon. I'm gonna put in a question. Okay. How do I do that again? Fuck. Start a poll. Dark Souls boss attack moves. Which method? All right, you guys answer the poll if you want. Answer the poll if you want. One of these cats just went potty. I can smell it all the way up here. Answer the poll if you guys want to. I don't care if you don't want to answer it. It's whatever. But I'm gonna do like a little bit of research on all right, who said hitboxes and who said raycast? I like using raycast, but it just is like you'd have to use like if you want to simulate, say you want to simulate like a wave, say you want to simulate like a certain shape, right? That's multiple raycasts. Or you could use invisible parts and then raycast between those parts. That's what I usually use for like melee attacks. So for melee attacks, I'll have a tip part and then I'll use just the handle part probably, or just a base part, whichever. And so when a player's like swinging their melee, I'll have those raycasts in a stepped event, right? And so if anything comes into contact with it, then that registers as a hit. So that's what I usually use for like melee and stuff. But say these are like swipes, you know, or the shape can change or something. You know what I mean? Like say an aerial, like a aerial or air type of slash, or like, you know, you know, I don't like it out. But yeah. I'm thinking I want to use hitboxes for this though too. Unless it's like the weapon, then I might just use raycasts for like the melee, if it's a melee attack for the boss. But if it's like a force or something, then I want to use hitboxes. But Malachi, would you use hitboxes for every type of attack? I mean, that's probably like easier. The reason why I use ACAS is ACAS. The reason why I use raycast is because it's just, I don't know, I like it better because I don't like using the dot touched. Now there's also other things you can do, other like outside of dot touched. You don't have to use dot touched, right? But dot touched is very, especially if we're doing registration on client, which I personally like to do. Dot touched is very like inconsistent for some reason. But again, like there's other things. But I find that isn't like get parts in bounding box, isn't that like kind of not efficient or not performant, like good for performant? All right, let me read these chats. I have this game idea that I've been working on that genuinely could be CCU. Tell us, Clip. Tell us in chat. It's very cheap to just define a volume that query the enemies in. A lot of the time, you don't need precise slices. I agree with that. That you don't need like precise shapes, you know, like it can be a little off. And I think that's common. That's like common for games to do, and it's like it doesn't really like, you know, you're not able to really fully tell. A lot of the time for melee attacks, I choose a point in an animation to query that volume. Interesting. Rather than having a continuous motion that is just the hitbox via raycast. So what do you mean by that? You choose a point in the animation? Like, what do you mean by that? But you're still using hitboxes, right? Get part bounds in box is more expensive than raycasting, but you're only ever calling no more than a couple per attack. Okay. So you're not a couple per attack. So like say we have a club and we're swinging it. You only use the get parts like a couple times during the whole attack. Is that what you're saying? And is that consistent in registering like valid hits, or are there inconsistencies? I use the raycast just because it's like it's consistent in actually detecting, you know. So, and then also, yeah, get part bounds in box is more expensive. So from what I've noticed. Only one call to get parts bound and back per punch. Oh, you're using... Oh, so you're not using a hitbox on the object that's dealing damage. You're just actually using a hitbox on the person taking the damage, and then you're just registering that. Only one call? I see now. Okay, I see. So you're using hitboxes on the actual... Okay, I was thinking hitboxes on like the actual attack. So say it's like a magic attack or something, right? Then you use a part attached to the magic going wherever it's going. So in my head I would be using get parts and bounding box and checking to see if the character is inside of the magic part. But what you're saying is you would just have a hitbox. I'm kind of confused on that. I get the punch though. I get what you're saying for the punch. What's up? Oh, what's up, SB? What's up, SB, bro? What up? It's Spooky. What up, Spooky? You still don't play PUBG, bro? No PUBG? That part that flashes is my visualization. Got you, yeah. For that example, especially projectiles, I would 100% use a raycast, but if I'm swinging a sword, I would just query that volume. What flashes red in front of the character? Right. So you're... I'm just like... How are you only doing it once, though? That's what I'm not understanding. So like the punch is happening, but you're using get parts bounding in box only one time during the punch. So I'm just kind of not I'm not seeing that in my head how I would like write out that logic that you're saying. Are you gonna show the boss fight or what? Bro, it's nowhere near ready to show. I'm just right now deciding whether I want to use raycast for this or hitboxes for this. You know what I mean? But you're saying you would use raycast for a magic attack? For projectiles? You would use raycast? I'm thinking of using raycast for just the club, like I always do. And then projectiles, I would use the hitbox. No PUBG? What games are you playing in, bro? You guys want to see the... You guys want to see the stuff I'm working on? So... The animations, I still don't have the animations, so they're basically just like placeholder animations right now for the movement, but you know, yeah, they're like placeholder anims, but we got the movement down. Okay, let me just see what this is. Play animation, task.delay. Like, so you're playing the punch animation, but the hitbox, I'm just not understanding, like, are you running, where are you running the parts at? That's what I'm not understanding. Is the punch, like, okay, is the hitbox the punch? Is the hitbox on attached to the punch or attached to the player that's getting damaged though? Like the dummy. That's kind of like what I'm not understanding, I guess. So now I thought it was the other way around. Now I'm kind of thinking that your hitbox is attached to the punch. The hitbox is attached to the local player. Yeah, the punch, right? Yeah, so the punch. I was thinking that you were using hitboxes on the dummy. I was thinking the hitbox was on the dummy, but you're just using it on. So now it makes perfect sense. Now I get it. All right. Okay. I thought you were doing something else. What up, Goods Gamer? What up, bro? High 7. All right. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Now, it's not fully polished, okay? It's not fully polished. But this is what I've been working on, alright? And all these animations are going to change. These are like placeholders. But this is pretty much it. And then this is the slide from like... What I might do, I want this slide to be smooth. Because if I like... It's already smooth, but it's just a little jagged. I want it to be more smooth. So I might use like lerp or something for that. Just so it's like not as rough and sharp. And I think what I could do is just lerp. Just like add a lerp, dude. And it should be fine. But yeah, this is pretty much it. And obviously like these animations are not done, so, and it's also not polished yet. So keep that in mind. But this is what I've been working on, chat, amongst a few other things. So yeah. And all these animations are going to change, so But it's alright. It's not bad. You know, like when this shit's polished and we have the actual animations, it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be really fun. Bro, what are those prints? These prints are from the you guys want to see that? I mean, I wasn't wanting to show really much, but I guess I'll show. The prints are for these. So these are for the VFX artists. That's what the prints are for. That right there. So that's the VFX artists. So that's what he's Japanese, I think. He's from Japan, I believe. He's Japanese. So that's why we have these prints. Those are his little prints. But that's like one of the spells that we have. I think it's fire. I think that shit's gas. Like, that shit's fire, bro. Like, that shit's actually fire. And then once we get these actual animations in and I actually finish the polishing, like, the movement's gonna be fire. I still gotta do some stuff. A little bit of logic, very little, and then it's putting in the animations and then polishing the rest of the way. It's gonna be fire, dude. But yeah, that's the fire. That was the fire. That's why those prints were there. This is a freelance project, so it's somebody else's project, but it's an RPG. It's a mage based RPG. Is that how you say it? I don't know. So yeah, I think it's gonna be cool though. I mean, I'm gonna make sure that it's like fun gameplay. I'm really gonna work hard on polishing and making the fights really good and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited for it. Check Discord. Running the parts. Oh, this is not you. What the fuck is this, bro? Dude. Yo, what is happening right now? What is this? Why am I in why am I in a Roblox studio file, bro? Are you guys like watching a stream in Roblox? That's crazy. No, that's actually crazy. It's your game? What's your game about, bro? That's crazy. Screen sharing inside Roblox. Is that against TOS? I feel like that's against TOS. I'm just wondering though. I have no idea. Forgot how freaking hype this Kingdom Hearts music is, bro. Shit's fire. What up, Lewis? Shit. Is it fire game? Yeah, it's pretty fire, bro. It's pretty fire. Chat, you want to see outside? Let me see if I can show y'all outside real quick. Y'all see that? That's my win. That's outside my window. It's just like living in a snow globe, bro. Oh, that's pretty cool. What made you want to make that, Goods Gamer? Sheesh. 12 votes total. 83% of you guys say use hitboxes. Crazy. What do y'all like about hitboxes? It's payment. It's payment. I don't have percentage. I don't even know if that's... We haven't really talked about it, but I've just let him know that, you know, like, I need money versus a percentage right now, so... I don't know if I would really take a percentage or not. If the game's successful once it's out, I think he'll just keep me on, you know, and keep paying me, but yeah. That's just the assumption as of right now. Hitbox is if avatar is small then you're cooked. Why do you think that you're cooked if the avatar is small? Also, Malachi, if you're still here, bro, I have a question. I don't know if you're here though. Oh. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, that's probably like so much easier to be honest. Like if we're keeping it a $1.50, hitboxes are just easier. It could be more, it could be like a tiny bit heavier on performance, as if it would really matter. Let's keep it a buck. But oops, I just closed out of my music. I was kind of I don't know. Let me think of other music. Zelda, no copyright music. Likes the Zelda. There we go. It's loud as fuck though, Jesus. Alright. Yeah, it's probably just so easy, man. Just attaching a hitbox to animation. Like, holy shit. It's just a lot less work, I feel like. And that's probably the appeal. than having to set up raycasts and all this other stuff, especially if you have like different shapes and stuff. What do I have to do? I could polish this field of view that I need to polish. It's just a pain in the ass. Let me actually see if I can do that. I don't know what's wrong with it though. Oh, I know I need to do something real quick. Here. Let me see real quick. Alright. Okay, so I need to go. No, not that. No, not that. There's Malachi's buff. I haven't used it yet or tested it. I'm gonna be testing it soon though. Alright. This is what I need to do right here. Okay. Or type name equals role. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is go into my velocity types and add a role. So role equals, yo, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, my guy. What type of game is it? It's a RPG. ACM, did you not see the studio stuff I just showed on stream? Were you not here? Did you miss that? So this one's gonna be less. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do like 45 for now and see how that works. Then I gotta go back to movement and chat. Some of this code, okay, I know because some of y'all be judgmental as hell in chat when you looking at code and stuff. Some of this is rushed. Like very tiny bits are rushed. Alright. You sacrifice some code as long as most of the code you're using good practices, you're organizing well, you're using, you're making sure that you got standards with and naming conventions and stuff like that, right? Then you can get a little, sloppy sometimes. When I say sloppy, it's just like some of this code, I have the code like written over and over when I could just make it a function and do all this other stuff, and but it's like that takes a little bit more time. So you make sacrifices in certain areas, all right? And that's perfectly okay. Because why would you want to spend more time on something, especially if you're in early stages of the game, you're still testing all this stuff. This is a very common practice to do. Like, your code doesn't need to be perfect, by any means perfect. Okay? Did you improve the slide? Because it was already good in my opinion. Have you seen the slide? Like, what do you mean? Wait, when did you see the slide, Eclipse? I did make changes to it though. So do you want to see the changes I made? And then last time you showed it, I think. Did I? I don't think I did on stream show slide. That was like, yeah, I haven't streamed since I made the slide. Did I show you in DMs maybe? I may have showed somebody in DMs. I don't know. I don't think it was you though. I showed literally like 2 people. 15 minutes ago. Oh. Oh, okay. Fuck. Yeah, no, I didn't change anything in the slide. Do you like it though? I'll show you what I'm doing for it. I spent quite a bit of time on this to get it to be really, really good. And then we have it for the camera now, so you know, it's also, you have to be running too, but yeah. So you can also like, and there's like, you can curve, like, hold on. Oh fuck. Let me see. Oh fuck, I pressed the wrong key. So you can curve, like, you know, and then, but it's gonna, at the end of the day, it's gonna correct its position. It literally works the same exact way. Thank you, bro. It works the same exact way as Chasms. So, but the only thing I want to polish with it is the, like, the jaggedness. You see how it's like, it can be jagged? You see that? Like, it's not totally smooth. And so I think I'm just gonna add a lerp to fix that. I think that'll just smooth it out if I just add a lerp to those, that orientation change, and that should really fix it. I think it still doesn't look terrible though, you know what I mean? Like, it still looks good. It's just, I want that smoothness all the time. And then I have to fix this right here. This is the FOV I need to polish. It should not be zipping back the way it is. I don't know why it's doing that. It's kind of weird. So I'm gonna fix that. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's sharp, stiff, sharp, yeah. And so I just want to smooth that out. And so I'm gonna do that eventually. Here's what I'm doing for the slide though. Pretty freaking cool, I think. I'm using a bunch of variables, but the main variables I'm using to really simulate that effect is a sliding multiplier that changes, and then a sliding multiplier subtractor that also changes. Both of these two things are changing, and so you get that change in acceleration and speed. So I like that, and you can barely notice it, but if you see there, you see how it's like, you see what I mean there? You can barely notice it, and I can obviously adjust the numbers a little bit and polish it further if I really wanted to go crazy. But so it's ready for that, you know? And then this I need to fix. The run animation, like, is supposed to be like that, but if I slide, then it doesn't fix itself. That's an easy fix though. It's so easy. I'm not worried about it. But again, these animations are not going to be what they are. They're all changing, so. Yeah, I think it's cool though. Thank you though. Thank you, bro, for saying it's cool. I spent quite a bit of time on it. And it's still, you know, it's still going to be polished further. So that's cool. Like, it looks really good as is, and it's going to look even better, I think, when it's done. But let me see real quick. What was I doing? Fuck, I forgot. Oh, I know now. I need to change the role. So move state changed. This is what I need to change. I'm gonna get rid of this. And then I'm gonna add in activated velocity. I'm gonna add in activate velocity, and let me just double check how I'm doing that. Activate velocity, fire. Okay, cool. Activate velocity, fire, roll. So this should work. So basically, anytime you're hard falling, it's gonna force you into a roll. So hopefully, I'm hoping that works. Oh, I gotta connect first, don't I? There we go. All right, let's see if hopefully I didn't break anything. Hey, it worked. All right, let me see. But actually, I don't like where it's at though. It's too short. Let me see again. That didn't work. Hold on a second. That worked. Okay. So let me see here. I don't... Maybe he's not high enough if he just, like, regularly... Okay, so it's working, but... is he not high enough? Yeah, I guess he's just not high enough when he moves off. If he moves off, he's just not high enough. Yeah, he's just not high enough to activate. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I need to fix the orientation, though. The orientation's all fucked up. I gotta fix the orientation for that. And then fix the orientation for another part. And it's the same thing. So if I stop moving, the orientation goes to, like, this... like weird default orientation, and I just need to make sure to fix that. But I think it looks good. I like that a lot. I might increase the velocity on this a tad, and maybe the timing, and then that should be good. Yo, what up, RMZ? What up, bro? I just used Roblox slide system. Do they have a slide system? Animations are messed up. So that works. That's cool. Let's see. Boom. Boom. That works. Awesome. I kind of want to... Should I do it even more? I think I should just do it more. I should just, like, kind of do it more. And then just take the force down, right? Yeah, just take the force down. Take the force down. And then just do it longer. I think this is going to look good. Yeah, one of their templates. Can you send a video of it, Eclipse? So I can look at it? I've never seen their slide system. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's test it again. Let's test it again. I like that a lot. That looks good. I just need to fix the fucking stationary orientation BS. I can't wait to get these animations, dude. They're gonna look so clean. I like that. That looks good. Yeah, I like that. I think that's good. Boom! 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 Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Alright, I'm having too much fun. Looks clean, dude. Thanks a lot, man. It's not even, like, finished yet. It's very, very close to being finished. Gonna have the new animations. Updated animations. And I still have to smooth certain things out. And add a couple patches. And also polish the field of view animations. So yeah, when it's done, it's gonna look like 2 to 3 times as better, bro. It's gonna be so freaking clean. I'm so excited for it. What is that warning in the output? This is the VFX guy. This is his code, which I'm gonna have to optimize at some point. That's right here. It looks so fucking good. Like, it's actually so fucking clean, dude. This dude is fucking goated.